Greetings, Sycamore High School staff. Today is Sunday, August 25th, and here is your weekly memo. Let's start with our spotlight. Um, Thank you and shout out to a few people that I know did a ton of work to make sure our senior hot dog cookout was awesome last week. So thank you to Kathy Feltner, Stephanie Michaels, Camille, Mike Brayton, Becky Quinlan, our senior class principal, the one and only Dr. Crenshaw. Thank you to Ashton Corey Teal for passing the torch from last year's senior class. And there's tons of others, but I just wanted to shout out everyone that came together to make sure that was a special day for the class of 25. Thank you. Let me run down the details, which are short and sweet. We'll go over day by day for this week, and then we'll get you guys back to your Sunday programming as usual. For the details, last call on paper. You'll still be able to join problem solving teams throughout the year. Some folks will call these committees. We want to try to transition to make these problem solving teams. I think words matter. And so essentially, there's a link that takes you to a survey for you just to self select in. No, it's not mandatory that you sign up for one, but it's super important because the committees or the problem solving teams that we have in this building will be collaborative and they will tackle important issues. And over time, we'll be able to work together to say not only who's on these problem solving teams, but what they're focused on, when they come together, what problems they're actually attacking. And that will allow us to make sure from an administrative level each team is working in harmony towards the same direction versus how do we know if some of these problem solving teams are attacking projects that might compete with each other. And so the more detail we can get in our organization and documentation, the better outcomes we'll have to make sure all of our time is well spent. So the most important step from all of us is to sign up and to opt in. Yes, this is voluntary and optional, but it's super important and starting tomorrow, Monday, we're going to take the names that we have so far and we're going to get to work. Okay. So last call, sign up for problem solving team. Also, do right now, today, please update your slide for the open house program. That'll take place this week. Open house is on the 29th. And so we do it in two ways. It's face to face. There will be families and guests in our building on the 29th, but we also send out a virtual open house to be mindful of all the families that can't be here physically. So please do your part. There's one slide per teacher. Connect with your department chair if you have further questions or your assistant principal that supervises your department just to make sure we get that done right away. Thank you guys. There's a link in the details. If you haven't done this yet, you can, and you must sync your Canvas to your progress book. Progress book, as we all know, is still our district official grade book. So everything's got to go to progress book at the end of the day. And there's a step-by-step A to Z on how to make that happen. Okay, last detail here, and I did send an email earlier in the week in case you didn't see it. I want to bring some color to that. Um, for now, we set our passes limit for Minga for students being out of class to 50. There's some lessons learned already, which is great. Within that 50, it had different limits and thresholds for pass types, whether it be restroom or counselor or office, etc. And so we've adjusted the threshold to make more sense for restrooms because you guys probably noticed earlier this week there were tons of students that were being declined. That's because the threshold was at like 10. And so we bumped that up to a more reasonable number. But overall, we still have the limit at 50 passes at a time across the building. And so as we go week by week, we will continue to modify and tighten that up, whether it's per individual student or just by time of day or just on the feedback that we receive. And you want to work through myself and Ms. Gallagher when you do have student hall pass feedback that you want to be considered. Okay, here we go. Let's do it day by day, and then we'll get you guys back to your program. Monday, really big day. We've got a special VIP Olympic medalist guest. Alumni Carson Foster is coming back to Sycamore High School. So Monday morning should be a ton of energy in the air. Wear your red, white, and blue if you see fit. But we're going to have a special assembly during our Aviator Bell on Monday morning to recognize and to honor our alum, Carson Foster. Also, again, your open house slides are due on Monday as well. Tuesday, we'll do our BOT work. That'll be hyper focused on goal setting. We plan to roll that out in the next week or so. Um, Thursday, mandatory for all students, picture makeups. If students did not get a picture at scheduled pickup, this is their last opportunity because after this, we plan to enforce our student ID policy, which says that every student must be wearing a physical ID. And this picture makeup on the 29th is your last opportunity to do that. Also, the open house, like we've already discussed, that open house is on Thursday as well. Friday, we'll do our thing, wear green and gold, fight song Friday, home opener football game. See you there. Let's go A's.